Hi everyone, thank you for joining today's webinar. We're going to start promptly as it's 12:30 and I'm mindful of your time. I'm sure a few other people will be joining us as we go, but today's webinar is focusing on our How Are You Lincolnshire navigation tool that we're been working on through the Community Mental Health Transformation Programme for about the last year or so, really. So it's a great opportunity to celebrate what's happened in this space and to hear about some of the new developments that are coming. A bit of housekeeping then before we start. This session will last about 50 minutes. There's usually a little bit of time for questions and answers at the end. We try and leave 20 minutes, but that's generally quite ambitious, so we'll see how we get on. We do have a panel of experts with us who will join us to take any questions that people might have. I think all your cameras and microphones are automatically on mute, but if you can just make sure your camera is turned off, that's helpful so that we can focus on the slides. The session is being recorded today, and we do send that out post webinar so that people can have a chance to look at it if they haven't been able to join us. If anybody's got any objections to that, then please can you let Janine Pounder know, and she will deal with that going forward. As I said, you will receive the slides afterwards as well, so you've got something to reference. So,
apologies, Victoria, I'm having a bit of an issue with the slides.
Okay.
Move. There we go.
There we go. Thank you, Janine. Okay, so let's have a think about what we're going to look at today. Hopefully, if Janine can get the next slide up, what we're going to talk about is where hay came from. And the conception of the same. We're then going to have a demonstration from our How Are You Lincolnshire lead, Emma Newman, before we hear from some of our community connectors, David Bruce, who's pre-recorded something for us, and then Joe Taylor from Grantham's joining us to talk about how we utilise Hay Lincolnshire in our communities. So let's move to the next slide then, if we can. I'm just going to keep talking. There we go. So How Are You Lincolnshire was launched in January 2023. So it's been around now for just over a year, and it was built on the back of some work that we've done with Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, who had their own How Are You brand, and we talked to them and said, wow, that's an amazing piece of work. Is that something that we could work across together? And one of the reasons that we did that was to help people navigate across those borders at the south of our county, because we know that often people who might live in Lincolnshire will navigate into Peterborough and Cambridgeshire and vice versa. So we were looking for some consistency for individuals to be able to find the services that they needed to support them in their own communities. So that was why we went for this brand. What we're also mindful of was that we worked in collaboration with our colleagues in the local authority around Connect to Support, and also all the other voluntary and community and faith sector organisation directories that are out there. So How Are You Lincolnshire was never established to take away anything from any other directories. It was much more about how can we support each other to help people find the information that they need easily and efficiently. So we held a workshop where we co-produced what the tool needed to look like, and that was brilliant because we had people with lived experience there helping us to look at how the colours needed to be, how the wording needed to be, what they found the gaps were. And from that, we were able to develop alongside our partners within Speed what How Are You Lincolnshire has now become. The feedback that we've had for How Are You Lincolnshire has consistently been that this is a really, really valuable resource. And as such, we've connected it into our training offer as well, so that everybody is getting the same information as to where to go to find the services that they need to navigate to when they are experiencing times perhaps where they're feeling anxious or depressed, or perhaps their mental health and well-being is dipping. So we've always said that this tool is about enabling people to find resources as much as it is professionals, and as such it continues to grow at that community level and is maintained by our community connectors via Emma, who is our How Are You Lincolnshire lead. We've taken How Are You Lincolnshire out to multiple places now to help people to find out about it. So our engagement team has done a huge amount of work showing people how to use How Are You Lincolnshire and the benefits of being on the site itself. And we will continue to do that as we go through the next 12 months. So if I can have the next slide, please, Janine. We're going to share with you some of the statistics. So one of the benefits of putting everything here is that we can see and analyse some of the statistics now that we bring through from the website to help us shape it moving forward. So you can see that during January to December 2023, there was 17,000 people visited the site with over 20,000 individual sessions. Since 2024, we've already had 6,000 visits and 4,000 new users. So we know that people are finding out about it now. We know that people are using it, and we can see that people are finding the information that they want. We've got over 600 groups listed now. And remember, these groups are specifically targeted at a community level to support people with their mental health and well-being. They're not duplicating the wider services that are held on Connect to Support, where people can go and find other information out about what they need in their local community. We've also launched How Are You Lincolnshire on X, or Twitter, as we remembered it by, and Facebook, so that we can reach even more people. And I think that will continue to grow. What's really helpful about How Are You Lincolnshire as well is that it's utilised in all our community wellbeing hubs. So our connectors use it routinely, and I'm sure they will talk to you much more about that. So we can move the next slide. There we go. So we've just launched a new look, How Are You Lincolnshire? So a really friendly brand. There were some things that were missing off the old How Are You Lincolnshire website that we wanted to be able to address and being flagged to us. One of them was around how could people find it more accessible. So the new Reach Deck toolbar helps people to translate it into different languages. It changes the font for people. It should make things a lot easier for people to navigate the site. We've also got a self-help section and a dedicated wellbeing hub map, so you can go, and Emma will show you all of this, because I'm going to hand over now to Emma Newman, who's our How Are You Lincolnshire lead, and she will give you an amazing demonstration of how the site actually works. And she's very definitely the expert in this, because alongside the wider communication and engagement team, Emma helps to make sure that all the entries are on the site. She uses the community connector data that they send through to make sure everything is live and dynamic. And that, of course, is a huge benefit when we're looking for things, because what we don't want is that people navigate to resources that aren't there anymore. So I'm going to hand over now to Emma. Emma, if you want to come on and take over, then you can showcase your work from there.
Okay, thank you, Victoria. Hi, so like Victoria says, I'm Emma Newman. I'm the Comms and Engagement Coordinator for the Transformation team, and I also lead on here. So today I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of the Here Lincolnshire website, talk you through the improvements that we've recently made to the site, including the new layout, enhanced navigation and accessibility tools. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. So the first thing you'll notice is we've given our website a fresh modern look, replacing the blue with the vibrant yellow. The home page is, has the county-wide map, and also has the locality tabs to easily find out what you're looking for in your area. We also have a link to the Keeping Well document, and we have links to the Nightlight Cafe page and the Wellbeing Hub page. So across the top, we've added new drop-down boxes. This enabled us to add more options and more ways of finding what you're looking for. We've also added a search box. Under the About tab, we have the group sign up. So anyone who wishes to add their activity or support group onto here can do so here. We've also got a list of useful telephone numbers. And we have contact details as well for any website feedback. Under the self-help resource tab, we have the Recovery College. This is the direct link that takes you to the Recovery College page on the LPF website. And we've also got another direct link to the Keeping Well document. Under the Find Support tab is where you'll find all the activity and support groups. The nightlight cafes and wellbeing hubs now have their own pages. And we've also got a Meet the Connectors page. This is where you'll find all your community connectors along with their contact information. So there's a few ways you can search for an activity or support group within your area. You can search via the homepage by either clicking on the map or on your local district tab, and then just simply select activities or support. You can use the search box. So this will bring up any groups associated with fitness, and just simply click on the name and it takes you directly to the page. Or you can use the drop-down box and select activities or support groups. So when you enter the activities or support pages, you're able to search for different groups in various ways. You can do this by using the district filter tabs. So if we choose East Lindsey, it will zoom into East Lindsey and highlight the groups around that area. You can use the search box by searching for a keyword. It brings up the groups associated with wellbeing and they're in alphabetical order. You can use the county-wide tab. This displays all the groups that are available across the county. Again, they're in alphabetical order. If you know what you're looking for, you can search by your specific location. So if you type in your postcode, it will drop a pin in the map of your location. You can just see it there behind the purple. This is a hotspot with the numbers. This indicates how many groups are within that area. And if you click on it, it just zooms in a little bit further and highlights the groups that are around your pin. So also under the Find Support tab, we have the nightlight cafes and the wellbeing hubs. As you can see, these pages are similar to the support and activity pages, listing all the wellbeing hubs down the left-hand side. We've also got the district tabs as well, and we've got the hotspots, which will zoom in to the pins. At the bottom of each page, we have a report changes button. If you come across a page that has an error or you know any changes that need to be made, click on the report changes button. This brings up a form, complete the form and submit, and that goes straight into the Hey inbox, and then we can make the amendments. The blue circle at the top is a new feature called the Reach Deck. This is an accessibility tool that allows the person viewing the page to tailor it to their needs. So we have a picture dictionary. So if we highlight the words, it will translate them into pictures. There's an MP3 option, which you can download the page as an MP3. There's a highlighting tool for easy reading. And you can change the settings. So you can change the width of the reading panel. You can change the colours, change the background colour. The magnifying glass highlights the text. So highlight that text.
We are helping people to find local resources to boost their mental health and well-being.
And it reads it out to you as well. And we've got a simplified page option. We can change the contrast on this. We can change the font and the font size. The translation service has over 100 plus different languages. If there's a little speaker at the side of that language, then the page will read out in that specific language. So if we change it to Welsh, all the text will change to Welsh. And if I press play, it should read us out in Welsh.
Dod o hyd I gymorth. Adnoddau hunangymorth.
If there's any documents embedded in here, such as the Keeping Well document, the Reach Deck tool will actually translate the document as well. And it will actually read it out to you.
Canfod. Blaenorol. Nesaf. Gwydd.
So Hay is ever evolving and can only grow with the information that we are provided with. So please spread the word. If you know anyone in any groups that would benefit from featuring on Hay, then please pass on our information and we'll get them signed up. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, as Victoria said earlier. I just need to change this back to English so I can find my way around. If you scroll to the bottom of any of the pages, you'll find the Facebook and Twitter icons. And if you have any questions or queries, or you would like us to bring Hay to an event, then please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Fantastic, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's a really, really impressive website. Of course, I would say that. But thank you so much for demonstrating. It really brings it to life, and you've done an excellent job with all the developments. But I think what's important, as you said, is very much that people get in contact and they have that dialogue with us, and then we can only improve it, can't we?
Yep, they can get in touch via the website, or I can put the email information in the chat.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda then is a pre-recorded video that David Bruce, one of our community connectors, has done for us. So I can see that Jean's got it all lined up and ready to go. So we'll listen to that.
Hey everybody, my name is David Bruce and I'm the lead community connector for First Coastal and Rural PCN, which is the area of Skegness, Bilsby and District. Today I was asked to share my experiences of Hay, Lincolnshire and what that means to me. Over the last year, I've used Hay pretty much every day in my role as connector and facilitator of the Skegness and Spilsby Wellbeing Hubs. It is my one-stop shop for signposting across our district. It's a tool that we've needed for such a long time. One of the first things we do when somebody comes to our wellbeing hubs and they're asking about projects within our area is if they've ever used Hay, Lincolnshire. Now, for some, they have heard of it, maybe been signposted to it, but have never truly navigated their way around it. For others as well, they've never heard of it at all. That's why it's so important for us as part of the transformation team that we keep plugging Hay, Lincolnshire. My experiences of using the site are just fantastic. It is so easy to use if you've not been on it. From the simple search bar on the right hand side to the geographical locations like how are you East Lindsey, for example, to the drop pin on the map. You can search and type for anything and everything and hopefully you will get some of the answers that you need. For example, our very own BroPro UK is across the county. So isn't just specific to one of the demographics. Again, for example, Hay, East Lindsey. But if you just type in men's mental health in the search bar, an array of projects would come up down the side and just allow you to choose the one that is best suited to you from a short little snippet that comes with the title. I think Hay is a fantastic resource that we need to keep showcasing to those that we are working with, whether that be professionals or those that access our service. Whenever I come in contact with a professional one of the first things I ask them as well is, are you signed up to Hay? Is your project on Hay? And if not, let me help you to do so. This tool will only be as good as what we put into it. And as professionals across the transformation team, let's get the word out there that we have this robust system in place to help people navigate their way around mental health and well-being resources within the local area. If you're watching this and you're in my own area, please reach out to me and I'll help you get your project established on Hay. And if I'm not your connector, then why don't you head over to Hay, head over to the Meet the Connectors tab right at the top of the page and link in with your connector. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that this morning. That's just a snippet into the world of Hay and how I use it and what it can do for you. But if you haven't already and you're watching this video today, head over to www.haylincolnshire.co.uk and have a look for yourself. Thank you.
Fantastic. So good to hear actually what impact it's making in David's area. And I think for me, the value of that is very much that he uses it on a daily basis. He can see how it's grown to help people. And again, you know, we need your help to keep it growing as well. So if you aren't on Hay, I'll just echo David's message. Please go and get in touch and join us on there. So I think now we're going to hand across to Joe. Joe is one of our connectors in Grantham.
Yes, no.
Here you are, Joe.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Victoria. Yeah, I'm going to echo really a lot of what David has said. As a connector, so my role is connector for Grantham and Rural. My area from north to south roughly is about 20 miles. That's a lot of people, a lot of community groups, which is fantastic. But no matter how good I am at my job, there's no way I can remember all of that. So I use Hay. I recommend Hay to people. And Hay is a brilliant benefit to me. I can find out what's going on so that I can make sure that we're connecting with these groups. I can make sure that these groups know about all the other groups that are going on. I can offer the support that I give to somebody as a community connector. I can link them in with the partnership boards and all the work that we do. But the other side is I can then, people that we're working with, we can then recommend things that are going on in their area as well. Hay means that I can do that on an instant. If I'm responding to an email to somebody about them asking what support's available, or if I'm sat in a community group with them, it's instant access. It's there. There's no, hang on, I'll go and find out. Let me see what I can find out for you and then let you know. And we all know what it's like. When you finish in one meeting, you've got your actions, then you go into another meeting. With Hay, I can sit and do that there and then. And if somebody is struggling, whether with isolation, loneliness, sometimes a lot of that you can feel worthless as well. Hay, to me, gives them empowerment. It gives them the choice. It helps them to be able to help themselves. They can look, they can search, they can see what is available. And I think that is when you're looking at booking a holiday, you don't go with what somebody tells you. You're going to go to Turkey, you're going to go to this hotel, you're going to go do this, that and the other. You don't. You sit, you browse the internet, you go through all the different sites, you look what hotel it is you want, you see exactly what it is that works for you. Hay's the same. You might not get the blue skies and the blue skies and the sunshine at the other end, but it's your choice. You are taking that, you are making that choice for yourself, and it gives you that empowerment back as well. So it's like with the traffic light cards as well, which again, I think are brilliant. Hay is accessible 24/7. And I don't know anyone else that struggled with anxiety, depression, anything like that before. It can be that 3 a.m. moment. It can be that moment of I can't sleep. You get those thoughts going through your head. Hay is there. You can sit there and you can make that decision. Actually, no, I need to change something. Something in my life has to change. You don't have to wait till the next day to go and talk to your social prescriber or to go to your community group when you found them, obviously through Hay. You can then sit there and find that information there and then. So it is 24/7. And as I say, as a connector, I use it in my own job. I see where the gaps are. That map is incredible because my geography above Lincolnshire isn't the best. But to be able to see all the groups listed on a map, I can see not only what is there, but for me, I'm looking at where isn't there anything? Where are the gaps? And then that can be also the areas that I'm looking at. So like with anything, as David said earlier, and Victoria said, it's only as good as the information that is on there. So this is a plea from me. If you go to a community group, if you know of an activity or a service that is available and it is not on Hay, please do encourage them to sign up. Please do encourage them. As Emma's shown how easy it is to get on there. Let's get as much as we can on Hay to make all of our jobs easier. And if somebody doesn't know what to do, because there is obviously the brilliant link now to all your community connector information, please link them up with us and we will happily help them. But honestly, I can't recommend Hay enough. We use it wherever we go in whatever we're doing, and we will continue to keep recommending it. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Jo. That's really valuable to have you on here and sharing your experience with us all. I was thinking as you were talking actually how pertinent it is and connected to the event that we only held last Wednesday, where we were talking about the Together We Will statements and how they've become Together We Do. So very much about empowering people, making those choices, collaborating together to deliver across our communities. I think Hay is very much about our glue between people and their communities. That's what I would like to think it's become. And of course, as we move forward with the new projects that are being funded under the Mental Health and Wellbeing Community Investment Fund, all of those projects will also be going on to How Are You Lincolnshire. So it's certainly a resource that is growing. Okay, so we've reached a moment which is very good actually for us, where we've got some time now for any questions and answers that people may have. And I'd like to invite our panel members on, and also Emma and Jo, if you want to join us as well, that would be excellent, so that you can take any questions specifically about How Are You Lincolnshire as we go forward. So I'm going to open it up to the floor. You should be able to take yourself off mute and put your cameras on if you want to ask anything. I can see some compliments in the chat box, Emma, so that's lovely to see, isn't it? I think you might have stunned everybody into silence with your amazing demonstration.
I think everybody wants to rush off and have a go for themselves.
Yeah, perhaps so. Paula, would you like to jump on and ask a question?
Not really a question. I can't, it's not letting me put anything in the chat, but I just wanted to sort of agree with what everyone was saying, actually. There's so much work gone into that website to make it amazing and really accessible. It's fantastic. You know, we've sort of, in the autism team, we point it out, recommend it so many times because there is everything accessible in there. You know, it's got all the links rather than sending out masses of links where we want to give everyone the information when we discharge. So yeah, it was just a fantastic, really, but I couldn't put that in the chat because it's not letting me.
Thank you so much, Paula. I'm sure that's heartening to hear, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah, thank you.
And certainly when we co-produced the website right at the beginning, Paul, it was co-produced actually with people who have autism. So that informs some of the colour schemes, etc., and how we needed to involve ReachDeck. So I'm delighted that you're able to use it and it's working well for that particular cohort of people. I think what we'd also like to plug on here is the Keeping Well documentation that you can link to, as Emma showed you, via How Are You Lincolnshire. Again, that's been a big co-produced piece of work within the transformation team to help bring some of those links together, because it can be really hard, can't it, when we're trying to navigate where we need to go as a person with lived experience. And what we need to do. I was just a bit stunned there by Laura joining us, but there we go.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, I think we've got another hand up. Dan. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Victoria. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
So having seen this from the beginning, it's amazing how far it's come, to be honest. And I've absolutely loved the redesign, making it really easy and really sort of bright. It's nice that it's bright and it's not in NHS blue, which is nice, which is really nice. But I just wondered, thinking further into the future, do we have an app coming down the pipeline at any point?
Wow. I'll let you answer that, Emma.
I'm not 100% sure, actually. I think we could have done with Stephen on the call, actually, because he's the tech. But fingers crossed, hopefully, yeah, there will be. I'm not sure when or how long, or I mean, you can access it on your mobile, but yeah, an app would be amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, and well done, guys.
Thanks,
you, Dan. Thanks so much, Dan, and definitely, if that's something people think would be an improvement or something that they would utilise, then we want to hear that feedback. We have discussed a lot about having an app, and we, as Emma says, you can access Hey Lincolnshire on your mobile, and we've done some improvements so it works better on your mobile device, because initially it was a little bit clunky. That's not a technical term, as you know. I'm not a technical bod, but I think, if the feedback is that people would really value having an app, then please do let us know. You can send us that feedback in via the website. So I really appreciate your feedback there, Dan. Okay, any more hands or any other thoughts that people might have? It doesn't have to be a question, it can just be a thought. Maybe not then. Okay, well, we're not going to prolong people from getting a break. If there isn't any more comments or thoughts that people would like to share, then we'll draw the webinar to a close. Thank you very much for joining us.
Victoria, somebody's just put in the chat, they've got a question.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Cass, do you want to share a question? That's okay. Can you put your microphone on or voice? Okay. I don't know if we can do something to help you there. Let's see.
Yeah, I've just allowed her mic and camera, hopefully.
Cass, do you want to try again? It's not working. Do you want to pop your question in the chat? Okay, brilliant. See, there's always a way, isn't there? Sometimes we just have to find a way around things. So we'll just give Cass a moment to pop her question in the chat. It's linked to how we embedded ReachDeck, really. That was one of the biggest moves forward, I think, was to make the Hey Lincolnshire a bit more accessible. And certainly ReachDeck's been an amazing addition. As Emma was showing you, you can do all sorts of things with it. I was blown away when I first had a go with it. It's brilliant.
I should also add, if you actually, when you open ReachDeck, and change the settings, so if you change the background colour or font or language, and then close the ReachDeck, when you go back in, it's actually saved your settings. So you should essentially only need to set it up once.
Oh, that's helpful to know, isn't it? So people
so you
don't have to keep
do it
going
every time. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see Cass writing in chat now. So perhaps you're part of a small theatre community group and they would like to add British Sign Language to their panto next year. I think that's what BSL means in this context. So probably looking for some information to do that, I might guess. Ah, there you go. That's the question. Brilliant. So do we know of any organisations within Lincolnshire that could support a pantomime to add British Sign Language in? So it's a very specific question, Cass. I guess Emma might need to go away and have a look on Hay and come back to you. Do you want to, if Emma, if you pop your contact details in the chat and then perhaps Cass could email you.
Laura's answered Lincolnshire Sensory Services could be a link.
There you go. Look at that, live on the webinar. We start to answer some problems. Well done. I think it's still worth you sticking your contact details in the chat, and then Cash, you've got them if you wanted to message Emma directly. Okay, no worries. Okay, so if there are no further questions or thoughts, we can deal with that offline, and we'll draw this webinar to a close. And thank you very much, everybody, for your time. Keep using How Are You Lincolnshire and keep in contact with us, and we very much look forward to seeing you all again at some point in the future. Thank you and bye.